Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really critical fight for survival. It's a story that's unfolding right now on the island of Taiwan, and it's all about its last native cat species.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a single, pretty chilling number, 94.7%.
So what is this? You know, it's not a grade on a test or some kind of stock market prediction. It's a scientific forecast, and honestly, it's a terrifying one.
Yep, researchers have estimated that there is a staggering, almost certain 94.7% chance that the leopard cat, known locally as the石虎or石虎, will be completely gone from Taiwan within a century, wiped out forever. So to really get our heads around this crisis, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll meet this incredible animal. Then, we're going to uncover the #1 threat it faces, and trust me, it comes from a place you might not expect. After that, we'll look at all the other dangers closing in. And finally, we'll ask, what does its future hold, and who actually has the power to change it? All right, first things first. Who exactly is this elusive creature at the very center of this survival story? Let's get to know them. You see, this is not just any wildcat. We've got archaeological evidence from over 5,000 years ago showing that leopard cats lived right alongside humans. They were the original guardians of the grain stores, the original pest control, taking care of rodents long before the house cats we know today even showed up on the scene. And this is where you can see just how different they are. The leopard cat is unapologetically wild. It marks its territory right out in the open to show dominance. In fact, its name, Shihu, literally means stone tiger, and that comes from its instinct to freeze like a rock when it's startled. A domestic cat, on the other hand, well, it evolved to be sneaky, burying its waist to hide from bigger predators. These are two totally different animals with completely different playbooks for survival. So, how would you know if you saw one? Well, you'd look for these key giveaways. 2 really clear white stripes running up from the eyes, round ears with a bright white spot on the back, and, of course, that gorgeous coat covered in coin-like spots. This chart here really drives the point home. Look at their genetic history. They aren't just distant cousins of our house cats. No way. They are on a totally separate branch of the feline family tree. They're a unique species native to Asia with a lineage that is all their own. Okay, so let's get into the biggest, most modern threat that the leopard cat is facing. And it's probably not what you're thinking. It isn't poachers or even habitat loss exactly. It's something way more familiar to all of us. Over 100,000. Just let that sink in. That's the estimated number of stray dogs in Taiwan. And these dogs, along with free-roaming house cats, have become a new, invasive, and absolutely deadly predator in the leopard cat's world. Conservation groups have really zeroed in on 4 devastating impacts. First, there are direct attacks. Packs of dogs literally hunt and kill leopard cats. We know this for a fact. A tracked cat named Anne Bow was confirmed to have been killed by a dog attack. Second, they're competing for food, especially with stray cats that eat almost the exact same things. Third, they spread diseases that can be fatal. And finally, just by being there, their presence is enough to scare leopard cats away, which shrinks their home turf, making their world smaller and smaller. This quote from conservationists really says it all, doesn't it? The wild is not a home for dogs and cats. Our beloved pets, when they're left to roam, they just completely disrupt the natural order of things. And it has tragic consequences for native animals like the leopard cat. But the threat from stray animals is not the only battle this species is fighting. Not by a long shot. Its home has basically become a minefield of modern dangers. So their habitat is being sliced and diced by roads and farms, which leads directly to roadkill, a huge cause of death. They get caught in illegal traps that were set for other animals, and sometimes they're killed by farmers in retaliation for preying on chickens. It's just a relentless, non-stop war for survival on every single front. And what's the result of all this pressure? Well, the population has been pushed right to the very brink. It's estimated that there are fewer than 500 leopard cats left in the wild in Taiwan. That number is so low, it's considered the absolute bare minimum for a species to even have a chance at surviving long-term. So yeah, the situation is incredibly dire, but this story isn't over. There is still hope, and that hope lies in dedicated conservation work and, maybe more importantly, a real shift in our own behavior. You've got researchers on the front lines working tirelessly. They're running captive breeding programs to boost the numbers. But here's the cool part. they don't just release the young cats. They put them through a tough wild school, teaching them how to survive, how to hunt, and critically, teaching them to be afraid of dogs and humans. And this is where we all come in, because the solution really does start at home. The Leopard Cat Association of Taiwan has laid out 4 simple but incredibly powerful actions. First, never ever abandon your pets. Second, keep them from roaming free. Third, don't feed strays out in wildlife habitats. And fourth, support local shelters by fostering and adopting. These things don't just protect our pets, they help protect native treasures like the leopard cat. You know, Taiwan has already lost one of its native cats, the Formosan clouded leopard. It's now considered extinct. So the fate of its very last wild cat, it doesn't rest in some faraway forest. It rests in the choices that we all make, every single day. The real question is, what choice are we going to make this time?